On this 2015 to 2025 F150 with the 2.7 EcoBoost, P0016 is a cam and crank relationship concern tied into the VCT system. In plain terms, the PCM may be seeing the cam timing not lining up with crankshaft position the way it expects. The truck may run rough, especially at idle, and the fault area can involve base engine timing, oil pressure or oil flow, VCT solenoid operation, the phaser, or cam sensor-related faults. Treat this as a technician-level diagnosis. Start with the basic system checks, and if other codes are present, check what they mean first. If any cam position sensor codes are present, diagnose those first. If P0016 is the VCT code you are chasing, the misalignment concern is based around one tooth or greater, and this path starts by checking whether the VCT system is reacting correctly or whether there is a base engine concern. With P0016 present, move into the base timing check. Turn the ignition off and disconnect the VCT solenoid related to this code. Turn the ignition on, start the engine, and for P0016, monitor VCT into diff1 in degrees at the PCM. You are looking at whether the VCT error or difference PID maintains close to 0. If it does maintain close to 0, continue with the VCT operation check. If it does not, stop and check for a base engine timing concern. If base engine timing checks correct, continue with the VCT operation check rather than guessing at parts. Next, check actual VCT operation. Do not install a new component unless this diagnostic path directs it. Turn the ignition off, reconnect any disconnected VCT solenoid connectors. Turn the ignition on and start the engine. For P0016, monitor VCT int act1 in degrees and VCT int diff1 in degrees. Drive the vehicle while exercising the throttle enough to create VCT movement. Some vehicles need higher RPM and load before the VCT system will move, and during quick movement, the difference PID may momentarily move away from 0. What matters here is whether actual VCT movement is present while the error or difference PID stays close to 0. If that happens, the concern could not be duplicated or identified at this time. It may have been caused by an oil flow restriction that was removed by operating the VCT system. Clear the PCM codes and repeat the self-test. If it does not pass this check and the engine runs rough at idle with KOER or continuous memory codes present, move to the debris clearing step. For the other failed results, move to the solenoid functionality check. For the solenoid functionality check, stay on the suspect VCT solenoid indicated by P0016. Turn the ignition off, disconnect that VCT solenoid, start the engine, and keep monitoring VCT INT Act1 in degrees. Record the PID value at idle. Then use a 5 amp fused jumper wire across the component side pins for the applicable connector. C1542 pin 1 to C1542 pin 2. C1369 pin 1 to C1369 pin 2. C1370 pin 1 to C1370 pin 2. Or C1625 pin 1 to C1625 pin 2. Record the PID value again at idle. If VCT movement is 20 degrees or more, the concern is not present at this time and may have been caused by an oil flow restriction removed by operating the VCT system. Clear the PCM codes and repeat the self-test. If movement is not 20 degrees or more, continue to the debris clearing step. Now, attempt to clear possible debris from the suspect VCT solenoid. Keep monitoring VCT INT ACT1 in degrees for P0016. Start the engine and record the PID value at idle. Use the same connector side setup with a 5 amp fused jumper wire across the applicable VCT solenoid pins. Quickly connect and disconnect the jumper wire to the negative battery terminal at least 20 times within 20 seconds. Then connect the jumper wire to the negative battery terminal and leave it connected. Record the PID value at idle again. If the VCT movement is 20 degrees or more, the concern is not present at this time and may have been caused by an oil flow restriction removed by operating the VCT system. Clear the PCM codes and repeat the self-test. If movement is still not 20 degrees or more, move on to base engine oil pressure. Before condemning the solenoid or phaser, check base engine oil pressure. Turn the ignition off, reconnect the VCT solenoid for the current code, and perform the base engine oil pressure check. If an oil pressure concern is found, Repair it as necessary, clear the PCM codes, and repeat the self-test. If no oil pressure concern is found, continue to the solenoid plunger check. For the final component check, work with the suspect VCT solenoid indicated by P0016. Turn the ignition off, disconnect that solenoid, and remove it. Use a 5-amp fuse jumper wire across the component side pins for the applicable VCT solenoid connector. While holding the solenoid, quickly connect and disconnect the jumper wire to the negative battery terminal. You should be able to feel the solenoid plunger vibration by hand when the jumpers are connected. Repeat as needed to verify solenoid operation. If the plunger activates, install a new VCT phaser as necessary, then clear the PCM codes and repeat the self-test. If the plunger does not activate, install a new variable camshaft timing solenoid, then clear the PCM codes and repeat the self-test. Keep verification separate from the testing. After any repair or after the concern appears to clear during VCT operation, clear the PCM codes and repeat the self-test to confirm P0016 stays gone. The takeaway is simple. Do not jump straight to parts. Prove the cam sensor code situation first. Check base timing behavior. Exercise the VCT system. Verify oil pressure. And only then make the solenoid or phaser call based on the test result. For more diagnostic training, visit stepdiagnostics.com.